check out ESPN Film's newly released 30 for 30 podcast. From the producers of our award-winning documentary series, this is an amazing collection of sports stories you need to hear to believe. Speaking of amazing, Delta Airlines and the Fly Delta app make your travel experience amazingly easy with real-time bag tracking, e-boarding, and passport scanning during check-in. And don't forget to download 30 for 30 podcast to fill your flight with stories that will keep you coming back for more.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio. That's 98.7 FM in New York City. That's 710 ESPN LA, and of course, nationwide over the airwaves of ESPN Radio. Sirius XM style, Channel 80. Number to call up, as always, is 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Lots of stuff to get into today. More Kaepernick. Got a different angle that I need to bring to y'all attention that hasn't been broached enough. I'll definitely talk about that. Some NFL items on the docket to touch on, without question, no doubt about that. But you know what's on my mind right now? There's a list that's out. And if you go to the undefeated.com, you will see a category, a big story, emblazoned over their website, 50 greatest black athletes of all time. And everybody's got their particular order, and everybody's got their own thoughts, and everybody's got stuff that's going on, and we understand that. We get it. But it's worthy of discussing because of a potpourri of reasons. It's not to eliminate anybody. This is an all-inclusive conversation. Because you got a lot of people that feel what they feel for whatever reason. And it may be justified. But let me tell you something. You've got some people that think Michael Jordan's number one. You've got a lot of others who think Muhammad Ali is number one. You've got, inexplicably, because I can't understand it, Serena Williams outside of the top five. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I think those are the kind of things that are important to mention. Those are the kind of things I'm trying to find the list here because I want to make sure that you understand what the top 10 list consists of. Michael Jordan, number one. Jackie Robinson, number two. Muhammad Ali, number three. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, number four. Jesse Owens, number five. Serena Williams, number six. Hank Aaron, number seven. Simone Biles, number eight. Gabby Douglas, number nine. And the great Jerry Rice at number 10. Let me be the first to say I have a problem with this list. Before I even get into the particulars, let me be very, very clear. Muhammad Ali is number one and will forever be number one to me. You can leave Jackie Robinson at number two, integrating baseball in 1947. I'm good with that. You want to put Jesse Owens or Hank Aaron at number three? I'm good with either. I want Serena Williams in my top five. First of all, she's the greatest female tennis player ever alive. It's number one. Number two, the adversity that this woman and her family have had to endure. The shots taken at her. The way she's been maligned and caricatured and beyond. And the fact that she is still the ultimate champion that she is. Ladies and gentlemen, a few months ago, she won a title pregnant. Pregnant. She won a title. That's how special Serena Williams is. With a baby inside of her, she whipped people's butts. This woman is special. So I'm going to put her up there. And then, of course, I got to put Michael Jordan in the top five simply because he's MJ. He's the GOAT. And no matter what LeBron is, as the brilliant businessman that he is, not just the global iconic figure of an athlete that he is, he certainly doesn't deserve to be 29th, but he wouldn't be what he is off the court in all likelihood if it wasn't for individuals like Michael Jordan paving the way and showing the way. So that's the perspective upon which I'm coming from. And that's the perspective that I don't believe can be ignored. And everybody needs to pay rapt attention to. That's where I'm at with it. We can talk about Bill Russell. We can talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Arguably, they belong in the top 5. But the reason I bring this subject up is because what I'm really, really asking, and let's not forget Jesse Owens either, because the man ran in front of Hitler, for crying out loud. And we all know what Hank Aaron had to endure, being the home run king, and the death threats and the racist taunts and everything else that he had to endure. But the thing about it, the reason why this subject is so important to somebody like me is because who's not on the top 10 list? And that would be Tiger Woods. And ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to say, I want to put this out there on Front Street so everybody can understand exactly where I'm coming from. Tiger Woods doesn't deserve to be on the list. First of all, he's a golfer. He's not an athlete. He's a golfer. Secondly, and in my mind, most importantly, and in the minds of African Americans throughout this nation, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't want to embrace his blackness. That's a big deal. That's not being incendiary. That's not being insulting. It's being factual. I don't know whether it was cannibal Asian or whatever the hell he called himself. I don't remember the words he told Oprah, but he didn't want to embrace his blackness. I'm not denigrating the man. I'm not insulting the man. I respectfully disagree with him. But let me tell you why. It's incredibly important that he be left off this top 10 list. You know why it's so important? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if this nation has not taught us anything else, it has taught us that the more you're unwilling to identify yourself with your own ethnicity, particularly when you are black, the road to prosperity has been made easier for you. Ali didn't do that. Jackie Robinson didn't do that. Hank Aaron didn't do that. Jesse Owens didn't do that. Serena Williams hasn't done that. But Tiger Woods did. And the fact that you didn't have to endure that level of adversity that those others that I mentioned, the Bill Russells, Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Jim Browns, the Kurt Floods of the world, and others, the fact that you purposely removed yourself from that black equation, you didn't have to toil the trials and tribulations that those individuals that I mentioned had to. And it is because of that reality that Tiger Woods, to me, isn't even a part of this conversation. That's how I feel about it. What about you? 866-729-ESPN is the number to call up. That's 866-729-3776. And it's apropos to segue from that particular subject to Colin Kaepernick. Because the reports are erroneous, by the way, where it talked about Spike Lee is putting together a protest, and they're going to protest outside the corridors of NFL headquarters on August 23rd. Spike Lee texted me this morning after that report was out, after I said this is what was going on. He said it's not true. He isn't organizing anything. He will not be there, but he will be there in spirit because he is in support of Colin Kaepernick. But he hasn't organized any protests, nor does he plan on being a part of it. But with that being said, he's with them in spirit. Colin Kaepernick, in a lot of people's eyes, is one of those athletes that I mentioned, not necessarily his greatness, but the fact that he's willing to take on a challenge. He's willing to sacrifice, et cetera, et cetera. I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I've spoken to a few other black people who don't feel that way about Colin Kaepernick. Notice I said black folks because we can't put everything on the white folks. Can't do it. It's not fair. Can't put it on Latinos. Can't put it on anybody else who don't happen to be black, but may respectfully disagree with Colin Kaepernick's position. Over the last 24 hours, since I got off the airwaves, I've spoken to numerous black folks whose attitude is bump Colin Kaepernick. You know what they point to? They said Stephen A. He kneeled for the national anthem. He wouldn't stand. Others joined in, like Brandon Marshall for the Denver Broncos, along with a few Miami Dolphins and others. They said they cost themselves endorsements 6, if not 7 figures in certain respects because of the stance that they took. What does Colin Kaepernick do? Doesn't have a plan. On top of it all, he chose to opt out of his contract with the San Francisco 49ers. He didn't have to be without a job right now. I had one guy that just got off the phone with me an hour ago and said, wait a minute. Colin Kaepernick quit on the San Francisco 49ers. Do you have any idea, Stephen A., how much heat Colin Kaepernick took, or how much heat, rather, the 49ers took? Because when Colin Kaepernick took the position that he took, they supported him as an organization. What did he do? Restructure his deal so he'd have the license to opt out of his contract at the end of the 2016 season and leave them high and dry after they support him and took heat from other owners and teams in the league. Stephen A., why are you feeling sympathetic towards Colin Kaepernick? Who the hell is he? That's what they said. And you know something? I usually have answers. I didn't have an answer to that one. He opted out of his deal. He could have made at least $12 million this year. He elected to pass and put himself on a free agent market. So if you are an owner and you're looking at the position that Colin Kaepernick took and you already had a problem with the San Francisco 49ers for supporting him, but then you turn around and watch Colin Kaepernick essentially quit on the same organization who stood up and supported him, why should you feel compelled to support him? I have an answer to that question. But it doesn't mean that the question itself is not legitimate. There is a legitimate question there in regards to Colin Kaepernick. Because before all of this went haywire, he was employed and essentially quit on the San Francisco 49ers. He didn't have to be without a job right now. He actually chose to do that. And in light of that reality, how should we really feel about Colin Kaepernick at this moment in time? Not because of kneeling for the national anthem, the totality, kneeling, ultimately agreeing that he'll stand, changing his positions, opting out of his contract. How sympathetic of a figure should he truly be? 866-729-ESPN is the number to call up. That's 866-729-3776. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Hey, America, listen up. I know a lot of you have already gotten a Zebra and are getting happy Z's as a result. You're welcome. As for the rest of you, what's the holdup? There's too many of you snoring and being a nuisance to everybody around you. I need you to stop procrastinating and deal with this now and go out there and get a Zebra. Why do I know there are millions still snoring? Because I used to be one of you, that's why. You know I always keep it real with you. I always keep it real with my listeners. I'm telling you, I am a snorer. There is no doubt about that. But I've gotten better, and it's by using the Zebra. Zebra gets reports every time I talk about their product on my radio show. They know you went to their website, Zebra.com. They know you clicked through all the 5-star testimonials and watched the video proving it works. They also know that you actually went through the process of putting a Zebra in your shopping cart. Now finish the process and get a Zebra already, please. Listen, people, your snoring is not going to stop until you get a Zebra. I don't care what it costs. Sleep is priceless. You would know this if you got a Zebra. And read the message inside the box. I'm telling you to get a Zebra. Stop procrastinating. Go to Zebra.com. That is ZYPPAH.com. Remember, Zebra is Happy Z, spelled backwards. 866-729-ESPN. It's 866-729-3776. To the phones we go. We'll get into a little NFL action a little bit later on in the show. A couple of previews that I want to point to. Aaron Rodgers talking about the Green Bay Packers need to win a Super Bowl to shut folks up. Yeah, get a defense first. That ain't Aaron Rodgers' fault. Let me be very, very clear about that. That ain't Aaron Rodgers' fault. But with all of that said and done, let's get back to the phone calls. Talking about the top 50 list on the Undefeated. Top 50 black athletes of all time, 50 greatest black athletes of all time. Plus, we got into Colin Kaepernick and whether or not he should still be considered a sympathetic figure in light of what I highlighted prior to going to break. Let's go to Rock. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Rock, what's going on, big time? How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good today, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Talk to me.
All right. Top 50 black athletes.
Hold on, stop right there. Rock, I need you to speak directly into your phone and don't turn because then we can't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the 50 top athletes, black athletes, I would say Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, and then I got to throw in Michael Jordan in there.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna sleep with you. I mean, give me 5. You gave me 3. Give me 5.
Okay, you 5. Okay, then 5.
Come on, that shouldn't be hard.
Kareem.
Okay.
And I say Earl of Pearl.
Earl of Pearl? No.
Yeah.
I love Earl of Pearl, but the Black Jesus. But come on now, he ain't top 5. Come on now. Rock, take it easy, bro. Come on now. You got to come to bed. Come another day with something better than that. Mike, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's going on, man? How are you? Mike.
Hey.
Yeah, you live on the air,
Hello?
buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. You saying I'm one of them black people who don't agree with Colin Kaepernick because of what he did with the 49ers. I think that's what hurt him. He quit on the 49ers. They didn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
You think that's the problem? I think that's the problem.
Well, I think if you're an owner and you already were upset with the 49ers and the fact that they supported you, how do you then turn around and quit on them?
Yeah, because they supported him while all that's going on. They still were supporting him.
Yeah.
They didn't say nothing about getting rid of him or nothing.
And he opted out of his deal.
God, yep. That's it right there. I think all them owners got together and like, dang, he did it to us. He did it to them. Why? He might do it to us. But
Good point, Mike.
I wish they go ahead and get I wish they go ahead and get it all over with. Because I was thinking about that.
Listen. The fact that stop, Mike. Here's the facts. This will all be all over with once the season starts. It's real easy to talk about this when ain't no games being played. Once the games start, trust me, you're gonna be thinking about the games a hell of a lot more than you think about Colin Kaepernick. Whether he's playing in the NFL or not, you can book it. Appreciate the call. Jordan, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, Stephen A. How you doing?
Talk to me, bro. How are you, man?
So I'm good, man. But, you kind of hurt my feelings with the golf statement. Here's why. Here's why I think Tiger Woods needs to be in that top 10. If you look at the sport of golf, there's no other sport out there that is not there's no team in golf, right? If you have one bad hole, one bad shot in golf, you completely ruin the tournament for yourself.
Whoa. Boxing, tennis, you're on your own.
Okay, tennis, agree. But now,
boxing.
Golf, boxing, correct. But now, again, on the sport of golf, historically, that's been a white-dominated sport. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, who came in there and broke the barrier for African Americans?
Let me ask you a question.
Please.
Give me another black dude other than Tiger.
Exactly. There is none because
what I'm saying to you is what barrier have you broken? Who's to say that the barrier still isn't there? He might have broke through for himself.
Agreed, but you could
there's
say
nobody
the same about
else.
Jackie Robinson.
Oh, wait a minute. When Jackie Robinson, then after that you had Larry Doby, and look at the African Americans you've had in the sport since that time.
Agreed. There's African Americans currently in the PGA Tour. My point is,
I don't know him. I'll
when
be
he
the
came
first
into
to admit
that,
it. I don't know any
the
of
last
them.
thing too, Stephen A. He's half Asian as well. I mean, the guy's in a tough spot if you want to look at it from that standpoint.
I disagree with
golf's
you.
One of the biggest sports in Asia.
I disagree with you. I disagree, Jordan. You talking? You ain't listening. Don't tell me that you're in a tough spot because that people are asking you to identify with your blackness. That's not a tough spot. That's reality. Nobody asked him to ostracize. Hold on. I told you to listen. Nobody asked him to distance himself from his Asian heritage as it pertains to his mom. Nobody did that. But you feel the need to go out and disassociate yourself from your own race of people. We live in a country, where constitutionally we were called what was it? 3/5 of a man. Guess what? Because listen, you weren't even considered a full-fledged man, a full-fledged person. And if a scintilla of your skin was black, you was labeled black. But suddenly you're going to sit up here and be the greatest golfer in the world and don't want to associate yourself with your clear, flagrant, apparent blackness? And you don't think that should factor into the equation when we're talking about the 50 greatest athletes, when you consider the level of adversity others went through so a Tiger Woods could have the chance to break the barriers of golf? If Muhammad Ali, the Kurt Floods, the Bill Russells, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Jim Browns, the Jackie Robinsons, the Larry Dobies of the world, and others, if they didn't fight the fight that they fought, would golf have ever embraced Tiger Woods? Am I making it up? Jordan?
Makes sense. All I'm saying is from a standpoint of a professional athlete having to inherit a race or recognize a race, you got to look at it from both spectrums. Again, he's like African-American, completely get it. But on the Asian side, too, I mean, what do you do in that situation? Clearly, golf is more popular with Asians, correct?
I don't know the answer to that question. I imagine so.
It is. No, it 100% is.
I don't know. I'm not refuting that. I'm telling you I don't know.
As a professional golfer, and by the way, do you know why Tiger would wear red on Sunday?
Why?
Because he wore that for the suffrage of African Americans. Black pants for the blood.
Okay. That's it. I appreciate that information, Jordan. I'm going to double check that. I'm going to give you a heads up on that. Assuming that's true, Jordan, I appreciate you enlightening me on that. Because I honestly didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. I'm going to man up and fess up to that. I'm not going to deny that. I appreciate that point. I'm going to double check it, though. 866-729-ESPN. More of the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Ladies and gentlemen, that caller, Jordan, who called up in defense of Tiger Woods, lied to you. He either lied to you or he was misinformed. Yes, I'm calling him out. Jordan, I hope you're listening. This is a quote from Tiger Woods in 2013 as to why he wears the outfit that he wears. The red shirt, black pants, Sundays. Okay? Hasn't changed much in 16 plus years at the time. That Sunday outfit hasn't changed much. According to the article, at least in terms of colors, Woods has continued to wear a red shirt for the final round of every tournament in which he plays. The commitment to red has even led to the nickname Red Shirt. But what got Woods stuck on wearing red in the first place? Woods explained in a news conference at the AT&T National, quote, I've worn red ever since my college days, basically, or junior golf days. Big events on the last day, Woods said. I just stuck with it out of superstition, and it worked. I just happened to choose a school that actually was red, and we wore red on our final day of events. So it worked out. Then he later goes on to say, I came out here and I continued it. I've had a few wins wearing red, and it's not going to change. Furthermore, he also goes on to say, as recently as this year, July, last month, Brent Kelly updated. Throughout his golf career, Tiger Woods has rather famously sported red shirts in the final round of tournaments. Why is Tiger so committed to wearing red in the final round? Because his mother told him to. Once in the Dear Tiger section of his website, where he responds to fans' questions, Woods explained his red shirts this way, quote, I wear red on Sundays because my mom thinks that's my power color. And you know you should always listen to your mom. That's what Woods said. Jordan called up here and said Woods wore that to support African Americans. No, John, did y'all hear anything at all? That this has anything to do with supporting African Americans? I heard him saying that he's listening to his mama. I heard him say that he was superstitious. Jordan tried to get one over. Didn't work, Jordan. I was right. You were wrong. Shut up. I say that affectionately. Mike in Denver, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, big baby? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. How you doing?
I'm good. He tried to get one over on me, bro. Didn't work.
I know. I was just sitting up here cracking up because I said, I know you was going to check it. But, man, getting back to the top 10 athletes, my list is my top 5. I'm going to go with Mike, Muhammad Ali, Serena, Jackie Robinson, and Bill Russell. What do you think about that?
Okay, they're not a bad list, but why would Michael Jordan be ahead of Muhammad Ali?
Well, it's a toss-up. I'm gonna just say because one reason is me and them graduated the same year in high school. I used to put
you bringing emotion to the equation, Mike.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
I'm a little biased about that, man.
It ain't like he gonna hold on, Mike. It ain't like he gonna run into you at homecoming and beat you down. I mean, come on, Mike. You got to have a better reason than the emotion, bro.
I know, man, but I'm saying it was a hard choice, though, because, I really believe Ali. I should have Ali at number 1. You're right. I'm saying because, Ali did a lot.
And by the way, why would you put MJ ahead of Bill Russell or Kareem?
I just think Mike. I just think the time of playing with Mike and Bill and Kareem, I just go with Mike.
Different time. Different time. I got you.
Different time. I just go with
got
that.
you.
I put Serena in there because, man, she had to overcome so much stuff. And, man, she's so professional about what she do. And on top of that, man, all she do is take names. All she do is kick behind and take names.
Man, she beat him pregnant. She beat him pregnant.
Exactly. I just found that out the other day, too. I was going to say that. I just found that out the other day. Now, if you out there like that and taking care of business, man, then, you got to tip your hat off to her, man.
Thanks. No doubt about it.
Quick before you let me go, man. I had to put my brother in the home yesterday, so
my prayers.
We don't know how long he's gonna be there, but we still praying and hope everything work out, man. And
stay strong, man.
We love you, man, and stay doing what you're doing, man.
Stay
and
strong.
Let me listen up to the rest of the callers, man. Have a good day.
Keep being the great brother you are to that man. Keep it going, bro. Keep your head up. One love. Let's go to James. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, James? How are you?
Hey, Stephen A. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Good. So, you say athlete. I understand a lot of these people on this list have significance in their sports, but I'm not hearing any names like Jim Brown, Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. These guys were pros at more than one sport.
It was just top 10. They're definitely one of the tops. You see what I'm saying? It's definitely debatable. It's all debatable because Jim Brown definitely should be considered. Primetime Deion Sanders is the greatest corner in the game that we've ever seen, a great athlete or whatever. But some of those guys that are on that list is because of the adverse circumstances they had to deal with en route to their greatness, as opposed to just having the freedom to just play and perform in their respective sport. That's what that was about, sir.
I understand, just like Jackie Robinson broke the barrier, but
yes.
I'm a big baseball guy. I think Hank Aaron was a better player than Jackie Robinson.
Probably right.
I understand what he did.
Probably right. Well, you know why, though, right? Because if there was no Jackie Robinson, there would have not been a Hank Aaron.
Exactly. And if there was no Jordan, no LeBron and everything, I get it.
There you go.
I'm not going to waste your time. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Nick. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's going on, Nick the Quick? How you doing, man? How's everything?
Hey,
Nick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear
What's
me?
going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Hey, so I wanted to get your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I feel the exact same way you do about Aaron Rodgers.
He's a bad man, bro. He's a bad man.
Yeah, he always played well in the playoffs, but they've always come up short because of the defense, and I just wanted to get your thoughts about that.
Well, listen, Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy got to do their jobs. That was a Pop Warner defense they had in the secondary last year. Remember what the Redskins did to them? I think it was on Monday Night Football or something. Remember how they got destroyed by the Redskins when they gave up 42 points? It was a Sunday night, actually, when they gave up 42 points to Kirk Cousins, making them look like the second coming of Joe Montana. And remember how the week before that, they had lost to Tennessee by giving up 47 points to Marcus Mariota and those boys? 47 and 42 back-to-back weeks. That's what Green Bay did in the throes of a 4-game losing streak. But somehow, some way, Aaron Rodgers, and by the way, and keep this in mind, Nick, Aaron Rodgers had a down year last year. Remember how people were talking about him?
Right.
Remember how they were talking about him? Like he was he's faded. He's not himself. He had 40 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. 40 and 7. With a QBR of 76. And they talking about this dude, Nick, like he's passé. I mean, can you believe the nerves of these people?
I know, it's insane.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. His brother's special. He just don't have a defense. I mean, Richard Rodgers got short, play tight end position, got to act like he want to be there. Eddie Lacy, he ain't going to be there anymore. Ty Montgomery's that dude. You look at Randall Cobb. You look at Jordy Nelson. He's going to be back healthier. I mean, I'm looking at some of these cats, man. I'm excited with Devontae Adams and the rest of the crew. I'm excited by what I see from Green Bay offensively. Defensively, I have no faith in them until I see otherwise. Zero. And that's the problem. All right? I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. More of your calls in a minute right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Story of OJ. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. Jay-Z doing it like only he can do it. Stephen A. Smith Show, back here at you on ESPN Radio. Number to call up as always is 866-729-ESPN. It's 866-729-3776. My boy Champ, one of my buddies, good, beautiful brother, a lot of heart, very, very knowledgeable about the world of sports. His only problem is one thing. He gets very, very emotional. Very emotional. Like he thinks Lawrence Taylor should be on the list. Lawrence Taylor was a great athlete, yeah. Lawrence Taylor is one of the greatest linebackers in history in getting at the quarterback. He wasn't great dropping back in the coverage. He wasn't all-purpose like primetime Deion Sanders. But in the world of champ, put Lawrence Taylor in the top 5. Stop. Stop it. Love LT, even though his checkered pass, give me a break. Will Chamberlain, I don't give a damn how dominant you want. You got 2 rings. You got 2 rings while your rival, Bill Russell, got 11. Enough of that. I don't understand him sometimes. I will say this, though. When you talk about athletes, Deion Sanders belongs in that conversation. He really, really does. Bo Jackson got hurt too early to see what he would be able to sustain. Barry Bonds, special. Ken Griffey Jr. was special, but the latter part of his career, not so much. I'm just saying. 866-729-ESPN. I got to go right to my next guest. I don't know where the hell he has been. I don't know how long. I mean, it's been a while since I saw my man Carlton in Massachusetts, but I miss my brother from another mother. I miss my favorite guest on this show. Haven't heard from him hating on the Patriots and Tom Brady. We were kind of wondering about you, Carlton. Did something happen to you or something? We hadn't heard from you in so long. How you been, buddy?
I've been okay. How you been?
I'm doing all right, man. Great to hear from you.
I've been busy. I'm in the process of a move down to Tampa Bay. I'm going to become a Buccaneers fan, so I'm going to have to hate the Patriots from afar. They were closing in on me up here. Belichick and his minions there. We're kind of trying to find out my true identity, so I got to move south.
You know what? You can act like you joking all you want to. I think that's quite possible, Carlton. I really do. It could be happening.
I live actually a very short distance from Bill, so it's a distinct possibility, my friend. Okay? But today I want to infuriate a lot of your listeners because I'm going to give you a viewpoint that is completely at odds with most of the people that have been propagating this Kaepernick business for the last 6 months. And my point is the social justice warriors, same social justice warriors who put 2 20- and 21-year-old gymnasts on the list of the top 10 black athletes of all times, completely ridiculous. They are destroying Colin Kaepernick's career, and he has let them do it. In fact, he's been an active participant in it, so I don't feel bad.
An instigator, Carlton, one could argue. But go ahead.
I don't feel bad for him. So let's take you back to last year when Colin Kaepernick divided his own locker room, divided his own fan base, turned home field advantage into a home field disadvantage when his own fan booed him every time he went onto the field, okay? Colin Kaepernick, who equated a police badge to a runaway slave Pathfinder's badge, Colin Kaepernick, who wore pig officer socks to practice one day, Colin Kaepernick, who wore a Fidel Castro T-shirt. Okay, all that said and done. And then now this year, Colin Kaepernick is trying to resurrect his career. And so the Ravens show a bit of interest in him. And what does his girlfriend do? Post to social media equating Steve Bisciotti and Ray Lewis with DiCaprio and Samuel Jackson in Django. You know, a vicious racist slave owner and his lackey black henchman who actually feeds slaves to the wolves, you know, in service of his... That's
Absolutely.
what Colin Kaepernick's partner does with one of the few owners or one of the few coaches who's thinking about hiring him. I mean, talk about writing the manual on how not to get a job in the NFL. Who can feel sorry for Colin Kaepernick? I mean, this is crazy.
Well, hey, listen. Everything that you pointed out, I pointed out here. Throughout the days, the last few days, everything that you just said. I spoke to Ray Lewis right after his girlfriend tweeted that. Ray Lewis was like, I'm done.
Exactly.
I'm
done. Remember Nico Grimes got Frank Grimes booted out of Miami for, you know, her racist taunts of the ownership in Miami? Colin Kaepernick, I hope he's in love with this woman. They've only been dating about 2 years because she is destroying his career as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, but isn't she the one that initially coaxed him into kneeling for the national anthem, according to the reports?
Yes, she did.
Oh, Lord.
He better be in love. You know, this is a woman who, you know, she's a social justice warrior. She is.
Look, Carlton, you got the line of the week. He better be in love.
Yeah, because he's going to have if they break up, he's going to have a long time to think about what she helped him do to his NFL career. If I was an NFL GM or an NFL owner right now, there is no way I'm hiring this guy.
Well, let me say this to you. I can't disagree with your position. All your points are valid, which are things that I pointed out, which is why I threw the question out there. But it still doesn't negate the fact that there's some blackballing going on. What you're explaining is its justification. What I'm saying is its existence, whereas you got John Harbaugh and Commissioner Goodell and others that are saying, no, that's not the case, when clearly that appears to be the case, Carlton.
Well, look at, you know,
I got to interrupt you because we got to leave in 15 seconds.
But DiCaprio was one of the most vicious characters ever in movie history. You're going to compare me to a person like that?
Done.
No way I'm ever hiring you.
Carlton, great hearing from you. Call back in, buddy. Don't be a stranger like that again, all right, my man? You take it easy. Hour number 2 up next with Stephen A. We'll continue on Kaepernick. We'll continue on the Undefeated's top 50 black athletes list of all time. Plus, we'll get into some more NFL action. Stick around. Don't touch that dial.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.